There is a sound the mind makes when the lights go out and the world becomes still. It is not a sound you can hear with your ears, but one you feel deep within your bones. It is the quiet, heavy fall of a gavel, and with that silent strike, the courtroom of the past is once again in session. The same evidence is presented, the same arguments are made, and you are called to the stand, night after weary night. What if, just for tonight, we could find a different way to end the day? Not with a verdict, not with a sentence, but with a deep and profound peace. This journey we are beginning is not about arguing the case better, or proving your innocence, or even demanding a pardon. It is about understanding, with great compassion, why this court convenes at all. It is about gently dissolving its walls, so that you may finally find the rest you so deeply deserve. It is about discovering a quiet space within you that is beyond judgment, a space of soft self-forgiveness that has been waiting for you all along. So let us begin, not by fighting the trial, but by simply noticing the room where it takes place. Feel the weight of your body, here and now, sinking into the surface beneath you. Notice the points of contact, the gentle pressure at your shoulders, your hips, your heels. The mattress is holding you. The foundation of this building is holding you, and the earth itself is holding you. You are completely and utterly supported in this moment. There is nothing you need to do, nothing you need to hold up. You can allow yourself to be held. Let your attention drift to the fabric of the blankets against your skin. Perhaps you can feel their texture, their warmth, or their comforting weight. This is real. This sensation is happening right now, in this present moment. It is more real than the memories that call for your attention. The air in the room has a temperature. Notice it as it touches your face, your hands. It is a quiet reminder that you are here, breathing, in the safety of this space. The nightly trial is a story about the past, but your body, your breath, these sensations, they are the truth of the present. And it is in the present where rest is found. Bring your awareness now to the gentle rhythm of your own breathing. There is no need to change it or control it in any way. Simply become a quiet observer of the life force that moves through you. Feel the subtle expansion of your chest or your belly as you breathe in, and the gentle release, the softening as you breathe out. Each breath is an anchor, tethering you to the calm of this moment. When the mind wants to pull you into the familiar courtroom drama, the breath is your quiet reminder that you have a choice. You can stay here with the simple, honest sensation of air entering and leaving your body. Inhale and feel the quiet stillness filling you. Exhale and feel a layer of the day's tension melting away. It is important to acknowledge that the part of you that runs this trial, the part that acts as the relentless prosecutor and the stern judge, is not your enemy. It is a part of you that is trying, in its own way, to protect you. It believes that by re-examining every mistake, by judging every past action, it can prevent future pain. It is a misguided guardian, believing that punishment is the only path to safety. Tonight, we will not banish this guardian. We will not argue with it. We will simply offer it a new kind of rest. We will show it that safety does not come from endless vigilance, but from compassionate presence. We will set an intention, together, to adjourn this court, just for tonight. We are laying the gavel down. We are placing the case files to the side. The intention is not to find an answer or a solution to the past. The intention is simply to give yourself permission to rest, to allow your body and your mind the sanctuary of sleep, which is your birthright. Feel that intention settling into your body. The intention for peace. The intention for stillness. The intention for a quiet mind. It might feel like a gentle warmth spreading through your chest, or a subtle softening in the muscles around your eyes and jaw. Let your body receive this message of peace. It knows what to do. It knows how to heal. It knows how to rest. The stories of the past can wait. They have had your attention for so long. Tonight, your attention belongs here, with the feeling of the pillow beneath your head, cool and soft, with the distant, muffled sounds of the world outside, a reminder that life continues on while you are safe in this cocoon of quiet. Notice the quality of the darkness behind your closed eyelids. It is not an empty void, but a soft, welcoming space, a canvas upon which a restful night can unfold. As you continue to breathe, imagine that with every exhalation, you are gently blowing out the candles that light the imaginary courtroom. One by one, the harsh lights dim. The sharp edges of the judge's bench begin to soften. The stern faces of the jury fade into shadow. You are not running from the room. You are simply allowing it to dissolve into a gentle twilight. You are creating space. Space for something other than argument. Space for something other than striving and self-recrimination. You are creating a space for simple being. Being here. Being now. Being quiet. The work of the past is done for today. Your only task now is to surrender to the pull of gravity, to the comfort of your bed, to the natural call for sleep. Every muscle in your body is beginning to understand this. A message of release is traveling from your mind to every cell, letting them know that the trial is over for tonight. The defense can rest, the prosecution can rest, and the judge, that tired, worried part of you, can finally rest. Allow this deep sense of permission to wash over you, the permission to be imperfect, the permission to have a past, and the permission, above all else, to be at peace, right here, right now. There is nowhere else you need to be. There is nothing else you need to figure out. All that is required is to allow this moment of stillness to deepen, to let the rhythm of your breath rock you gently, like a wave carrying you out to a calm, quiet sea. This is the beginning of a different kind of night. A night where rest is not a reward to be earned after a guilty verdict is paid for, but a gift you can always give yourself. A night where the quiet is not a space for accusation, but a space for healing. Let your body feel the truth of this. Let your heart feel the relief. You are safe. You are whole. And you are so very, very worthy of this peace. As the lights of that inner courtroom have dimmed, and a gentle quiet begins to settle, perhaps we can now notice, with a soft and curious gaze, who has been present in that room night after night. This nightly trial is not a monologue. It is a play with a recurring cast of characters. And the most exhausting truth of all is that you have been asked to play every single part. You are the writer, the director, and the entire cast, all at once. There is no need to change anything right now, no need to fire the actors or rewrite the script. For this moment, let us simply become the audience, watching from a safe and quiet distance. Let us just name what we see. First, there is the prosecutor. Do you know this part of you? Its voice is often sharp, clear, and relentless. It is the one who presents the evidence. It holds up memories like photographs, pointing to every flaw, every misstep, every word you wish you could take back. This prosecutor is tireless, working from a belief that if it can just build a strong enough case, it can finally force a change, ensuring you never make a similar mistake again. It replays conversations, highlights awkward moments, and speculates on what others must have thought. Its energy is one of urgent, anxious striving. It believes its vigilance is what keeps you safe, what makes you a good person. It doesn't realize how heavy its briefcase of evidence has become, or how much energy it takes for you to listen to its arguments, night after night. We can just notice this part, without anger, without resentment. We can see its intention, however misguided, to protect. Then, of course, there is the judge. This part sits elevated, wearing a robe of certainty. Its voice is often low, solemn, and carries the weight of finality. This judge operates from a strict, unbending set of internal laws, rules about how you should have acted, what you should have known, who you ought to be. This part of you is not necessarily cruel in its intention. It is simply the keeper of a code it believes is essential for an honorable life. It listens to the prosecutor's evidence and compares it against this rigid code, almost always finding you wanting. It is the part that delivers the sentence. More worry, more shame, another sleepless night of penance. It believes this judgment is necessary for atonement. From its high bench, it cannot feel the exhaustion in your body or the sorrow in your heart. It sees only the law and its perceived violation. Tonight, we just observe this judge. We see its stern posture, we hear its heavy pronouncements, and we acknowledge the burden it carries in trying to uphold such an impossible standard. And finally, at the center of it all, is the defendant. This is the part of you that has to stand and listen to it all. This is the weary, frightened self that has no new defense to offer, because the past cannot be changed. Feel into this part for a moment. Feel its slumped shoulders, the tightness in its stomach. This is the part of you that feels the sting of shame, the ache of regret. It has heard the accusations so many times that it barely has the energy to respond anymore. It is a child, really, being endlessly scolded for a mess it made long ago, a mess it didn't know how to clean up then, and doesn't know how to now. All it wants is for the trial to be over. All it wants is to be forgiven, to be seen with kindness, to be allowed to go home and rest. This part of you is so profoundly tired. And here is the heart of the matter. You are playing all of these roles at once. You are the prosecutor, gathering the evidence and making the case. You are the judge, delivering the verdict and the sentence. And you are the defendant, receiving the judgment and bearing the shame. Can you feel the immense, crushing exhaustion of this? It is a civil war fought within the quiet of your own mind. It is a deep internal conflict where every part of you loses, because all the energy that could be going toward healing, toward rest, toward peace, is instead consumed by this endless, unwinnable trial. The fatigue you feel is not a failure or a weakness. It is the honest, logical result of a mind at war with itself. It is the most understandable tiredness in the world. For tonight, our only practice is to see this, to witness it, not to fix it, not to solve it, but simply to acknowledge the incredible effort it takes to stage this drama every single night. Imagine you are sitting in a comfortable theater seat, watching these three characters on a distant stage. You can see the prosecutor's earnest anxiety. You can see the judge's solemn burden. You can see the defendant's deep weariness. From this distance, you can feel compassion for all of them. They are all parts of you, trying their best with the tools they have. They are all caught in a painful loop. By simply watching, you begin to untangle yourself from their struggle. You are no longer on the stage. You are the quiet, compassionate presence that holds space for the play to unfold without being consumed by it. Your breath is your anchor to this seat in the audience. As you feel the familiar pull to get on stage and argue, just return to your breath. Feel the air enter your body, a wave of calm. Feel the air leave your body, a wave of release. The drama on the stage is just a story. The feeling of the breath in your lungs, the feeling of the blanket on your skin, the support of the bed beneath you. This is what is real right now. You are not the prosecutor. You are not the judge. You are not the defendant. You are the one who is aware of all of them. And in that awareness, there is space. In that awareness, there is freedom. In that awareness, peace can finally begin to take root. You have done so much work already, just by being willing to see this pattern with open, gentle eyes. This acknowledgement is a profound act of kindness to yourself. Let the characters on the stage begin to fade now, as if the theater lights are dimming. We know their roles. We have honored their presence. And now we are giving them, and ourselves, permission to rest. Now, as the roles you play begin to soften and fade into the quiet, let's turn our attention with that same gentle curiosity to the evidence itself. What is in the prosecutor's briefcase? What are the files, yellowed with time and heavy with emotion, that are brought forth night after night? These are the memories, the specific scenes, the words spoken or left unspoken, the choices made that have become the bedrock of this recurring trial. You do not need to force these memories to appear now. They come on their own, don't they? They know their cues. Just for a moment, let's acknowledge the weight of this old evidence. It is not just a collection of facts. It is a burden you have been carrying in your body, in your heart, for so long. Feel the sheer weight of it. Imagine it as a stack of heavy, leather-bound books. Each book has a title, a place, a date, a person's name. You have been carrying this library of regret on your back, and it is no wonder you feel so tired. It is no wonder that sleep feels so far away. Beneath the surface of each memory, beneath the story of what happened, there is a feeling. The evidence presented in your nightly trial is not just about the past event itself, but about the unresolved pain that is attached to it. Perhaps one of the files is labeled shame. It holds a memory of a time you acted in a way that felt out of alignment with the person you wanted to be. When that memory is replayed, the feeling of shame washes over you again, as fresh and as potent as it was in the moment it happened. Your mind replays the scene, hoping that this time, somehow, it can be different. But it never is. And so the shame deepens. Or perhaps another file is labeled regret. This one holds a memory of a turning point, a door you walked through, or a door you didn't, a choice that you now believe set you on the wrong path. The prosecutor presents the what-ifs as concrete evidence of your failure. What if you had said yes? What if you had said no? The trial becomes a labyrinth of alternate timelines where you imagine a happier, better version of yourself, which only serves to highlight the perceived inadequacy of your present reality. The weight of regret, is the weight of all the lives you imagine you should have lived. And for so many, there is a file labeled hurt. This file contains the memories of times your actions caused pain to someone else. This is perhaps the heaviest evidence of all. The prosecutor shows you the look on another person's face, replays the sound of their voice. The trial's aim here is to prove that you are unforgivable, that the harm you caused is a permanent stain on your character. The pain beneath this memory is a profound and aching sorrow, a deep wish that you could go back and undo the harm, coupled with the devastating knowledge that you cannot. So you carry their pain, or what you imagine their pain to be, as part of your sentence. This is what we must understand with profound compassion. This endless loop, this nightly replay of old evidence, is your mind's desperate attempt to solve an unsolvable problem. The past cannot be changed. A wound from 10 years ago cannot be unwounded today. A word spoken cannot be unspoken. The logical, problem-solving part of your mind does not know how to handle this. Its only tool is analysis. So it analyzes. It replays. It dissects. It looks for a loophole, a different angle, a piece of information it missed that will finally make it all make sense, that will finally bring resolution. But there is no resolution to be found in the loop itself. The trial is the trap. The replay is the prison. It is like trying to quench a thirst by drinking salt water. The very act of re-litigating the past only deepens the wounds of shame, regret, and sorrow. It reinforces the neural pathways of self-criticism, making the trial easier and easier to convene the next night. It becomes a habit, a conditioned response to the quiet of the evening. The lights go out, and the mind says, it is time to feel bad about the past again. I want you to feel, deep in your bones, the profound strength it has taken for you to carry this. Just showing up tonight, just being willing to lie here and listen, to consider a different way, is an act of incredible courage. You have carried the weight of these memories. You have endured this nightly trial, and you are still here, still breathing, still seeking peace. That is resilience. That is a testament to the part of you that has never, ever given up on the possibility of healing. So for tonight, let's not argue with the evidence. Let's not try to throw the files out of the courtroom. Let's just acknowledge the pain they represent. Let's honor the sorrow that lives beneath the stories. You can place a gentle, imaginary hand on that stack of heavy books. You can say to the part of you that carries them, I see you. I see how heavy this is. I see how much you hurt. This is not an act of agreement with the prosecutor. It is an act of compassion for the defendant, for the part of you that has been staggering under this weight. It is an acknowledgement of your own pain. As you lie here, breathing in and breathing out, can you allow yourself to just feel the sadness of it all, without the sharp edges of judgment? Not the shame that says, I am bad, but the simple sorrow that says, that was painful. Not the regret that says, I ruined everything, but the gentle acknowledgement that says, I wish things had been different. There is a clean, healing quality to simple sorrow. It is an emotion that can move through you, like water. It is the judgment, the self-attack, that freezes it and turns it into a heavy, unmovable block of ice. Let your breath be a source of warmth tonight. Imagine each inhalation is a soft, warm light, moving into the places in your body where you hold this old pain. Your chest, your stomach, your throat. Imagine each exhalation is a gentle melting, a release. You're not trying to get rid of the memories. You are simply unfreezing the emotions that have been trapped within them. You are allowing the story to remain in the past, while the pain is allowed to finally, gently flow through you and away. You have carried this for so long. Your strength is profound, and for tonight, you can begin to set it down. As we sit here in the quiet, acknowledging the weight of the evidence and the pain held within it, a gentle question begins to emerge. It rises not from a place of accusation, but from a place of deep and tender curiosity. The question is this: who taught you this law? Who taught you that the only path to goodness is through endless self-punishment? Where did you first learn that your own heart was a courtroom where you must stand as the perpetual defendant? This system of inner justice, this harsh and unforgiving legal code written into your soul, did not appear from nowhere. We are not born with a gavel in our hand. We learn it. We absorb it from the world around us, often from a very young age, when we are most open and impressionable. Perhaps you learned it from a parent or a caregiver who was deeply critical of themselves. You may have watched them hold their own imaginary trials, heard them berate themselves for small mistakes. As a child, you learned that this is what love and responsibility look like. You learn that to be a good person is to be your own harshest critic. You internalized their inner judge, and it has been sitting on the bench in your mind ever since. Or maybe you learned this law at school, where a red pen marked every error, and your worth felt measured by your ability to be perfect. You learned that mistakes were not opportunities for growth, but evidence of failure. You learned to fear failure, to hide your imperfections, and to punish yourself for them before anyone else could. The goal was to achieve a perfect score, and anything less felt like a verdict of not good enough. That feeling can linger for a lifetime, long after the classroom has faded into memory. The inner prosecutor simply takes the place of the red pen. For some, this law was learned in a religious or spiritual context, where concepts of sin and atonement were taught in a way that inspired fear rather than compassion. You may have learned that you were born flawed, and that only through constant vigilance and penance could you hope to be worthy of love or salvation. This creates a deep-seated belief that your fundamental nature is guilty, and that you must spend your life arguing against this original verdict. And for so many of us, the law was taught by the painful experiences of life itself, a moment of profound rejection, a betrayal, a failure that had serious consequences. In the aftermath of such a painful event, the mind scrambles to make sense of it, to find a cause, to regain a sense of control. And the easiest person to blame is always ourselves. So we create a law. If I am just hard enough on myself, if I never forget what I did wrong, I will never have to feel that kind of pain again. The trial becomes a desperate, superstitious ritual designed to ward off future suffering. Here is what is so vitally important to understand, with all the compassion you can muster. This harsh inner justice system was created with a sincere and noble intention. The part of you that acts as prosecutor and judge is not malicious. It truly believes that this is the only way to keep you safe and to make you a good person. This pattern makes sense. It comes from a deep and caring heart. It comes from the part of you that wants, more than anything, to be worthy of love, to belong, to live a life of integrity, and to not cause harm. The trial is a misguided strategy for achieving these beautiful goals. It is a strategy born of fear, a strategy learned in a world that often teaches us that punishment is the only effective teacher. Tonight, we can begin to see this with clarity and with kindness. We can look at the judge on its high bench and say, "I understand. You are trying to protect me. You are trying to make sure I live up to my own values. Thank you for your service. But your methods are causing so much exhaustion." We can look at the prosecutor with its endless files of evidence and say, "I see your diligence. I see your desire to prevent future mistakes. Thank you for your vigilance, but we can learn in a different way now." By validating the intention behind the pattern, we stop fighting it. We are no longer in an adversarial relationship with ourselves. We are not trying to tear down the courtroom in a fit of rage. Instead, we are gently and respectfully showing these parts of ourselves that there is another way, a way that leads not to more exhaustion, but to genuine wisdom, a way that is rooted not in fear, but in love. And this new way begins with releasing the need for perfection. The laws in your inner courtroom are often based on the premise that it is possible to be perfect, that you should have known better, done better, been better. But better is an impossible standard, measured with the clear vision of hindsight. The truth is, we are all just human beings, learning as we go. We are all making it up as we move through this beautiful, complicated, and often confusing life. Making mistakes is not a violation of the law. It is an essential part of the curriculum. You are not a criminal for having made them. You are a student. The very fact that you feel regret, the very fact that this trial even convenes at all, is proof of your goodness. It is a sign that you care deeply. Someone who did not care would not be haunted by their past. They would not spend their nights wrestling with their conscience. Your capacity to feel this pain is a direct reflection of your capacity for love and empathy. It is your caring heart that has been turned against itself. So, as you rest here, feel the truth of this settle into your body. The laws that govern your inner world do not have to be so harsh. You have the power to amend them. You have the authority to grant clemency. Tonight, you can introduce a new law into the books, a law of humanity, a law that states that learning is a messy, imperfect process, a law that rules that self-worth is inherent and is not dependent on a flawless record, a law that decrees that rest and self-compassion are not luxuries to be earned, but essential rights for any being who is trying their best to navigate this life. Let this new law begin to permeate the atmosphere of your inner world. Feel it bringing a sense of warmth, a sense of relief, a sense of profound permission to simply be human. Let your awareness now drift down from the mind, from the stories and the laws, and into the physical reality of your body. Because this nightly trial is not just a mental exercise, it is a deeply physical experience. Your body has been a faithful attendee in that courtroom every single night, and it has been holding all the tension of the proceedings. It has been listening to every argument, flinching at every piece of evidence, and bracing for every verdict. The tiredness of the trial is not just an idea. It is a profound, bone-deep physical exhaustion. Let's explore this with gentleness. Bring your attention to your jaw. Without needing to change anything, just notice. Is there a tightness there? A clenching? For many of us, the jaw is where we hold the unspoken arguments, the defenses we want to scream but can't. It is the physical manifestation of gritting our teeth and enduring the onslaught of self-criticism. Night after night, The muscles here have been locked in a silent battle. As you notice this, you can offer it a little space to soften. You might imagine a warm, gentle hand resting on your cheek, giving the muscles permission to let go. You might let your lower jaw hang just a little bit heavy, creating a tiny space between your top and bottom teeth. There is nothing to argue tonight. No defense is necessary. You can let the tension melt away. Now, bring your awareness to your shoulders and your neck. Feel the muscles that run from the base of your skull down to your shoulder blades. This is where we carry the weight of responsibility, the burden of our perceived failures. When the judge in our mind slams its gavel, the body often responds by hunching, by pulling the shoulders up towards the ears as if to protect itself from a blow. This is a posture of defense, of bracing for impact, and it is exhausting to maintain. Can you invite a sense of release into this area? With your next exhalation, imagine your shoulders becoming heavy, soft, and wide. Imagine them melting down and away from your ears, sinking into the mattress beneath you. You can set the burden down, just for tonight. The weight of the world, the weight of your past, is not yours to carry into sleep. The bed is holding you. You do not need to hold yourself so tightly. Let that feeling of release spread down your arms, into your hands, and out through your fingertips. Let's consider the breath. When the trial is in full session, when the prosecutor is listing your faults, what happens to your breathing? It often becomes shallow, quiet, and fast. It's a breath pattern that belongs to a state of high alert, of fight or flight. It's the breath of the defendant on the stand, heart pounding, waiting for the verdict. Your body has been reliving this state of threat over and over, even while lying in a perfectly safe bed. This is one of the primary reasons sleep feels so elusive. Sleep requires a signal of safety to the nervous system, but the trial is a signal of danger. So your body stays on guard, ready to face the threat, unable to surrender to the deep rest it needs. Tonight, we can send it a different signal. Let your attention rest on your breathing without forcing it, and just notice the gentle rise and fall of your belly. As you breathe in, your belly naturally expands. As you breathe out, it softens. This slow, deep diaphragmatic breathing is the body's natural language of safety. It is a signal to every cell that the trial has been adjourned, that the threat has passed. Each deep, slow breath is a quiet message to your nervous system. You can stand down now. We are safe. It is time to rest. There is a deep and profound futility that comes with this nightly ritual, and your body feels that too. It is the feeling that no matter how many times the case is argued, a true pardon never arrives. The verdict is always the same. The sentence is always more of the same suffering. This sense of hopelessness can manifest in the body as a feeling of heaviness, of paralysis. It is the feeling of being stuck. You can feel it as a leaden weight in your limbs or a hollow ache in your chest. This is the physical residue of a battle that cannot be won. Acknowledging this futility is not an act of giving up. It is an act of profound wisdom. It is recognizing that the strategy itself is flawed. You cannot fight your way to peace. You cannot argue your way to forgiveness. You cannot win a case against your own past. And in that recognition, something new becomes possible. A different part of you can finally be heard. It has been there all along, waiting patiently. It is the part of you that is tired of the fight, the part of you that craves stillness. the part of you that knows, on a deep, intuitive level, that you are worthy of peace. This part of you seeking rest is just as real, just as valid as the part that seeks justice. For so long, the voices of the prosecutor and the judge have been the loudest in the room. Tonight, we are turning up the volume on the voice of the one who is simply, deeply tired, the one who is ready to surrender. Let yourself connect with this part now. Feel its longing for sleep, for quiet, for an end to the struggle. Let this longing be your guide. It is pointing you toward healing. It is pointing you toward home. Let the desire for rest be stronger than the habit of self-criticism. Your body knows how to sleep. It is a natural, innate wisdom you were born with. It is not forgotten. It has just been waiting for permission. It has been waiting for the signal that the courtroom is finally empty, that the halls of justice are finally silent. As you lie here, feel the physical truth of the trial dissolving. Feel the jaw unclenching, the shoulders softening, the breath deepening. This is not just imagination. This is a real physiological shift. You are moving out of a state of threat and into a state of trust. You are letting your body know that just for tonight, the case is closed. The arguments can cease, and the deep, healing work of rest can finally begin. Now that we have felt the deep tiredness in the body and acknowledged the futility of the endless trial, we can take the next gentle, deliberate step. We can give ourselves explicit permission to adjourn for the night. This is not a denial of the past. It is not an act of pretending that the evidence doesn't exist. It is a conscious, compassionate choice to prioritize rest over rumination. It is an act of profound self-care. Let's do this now with a simple, quiet visualization. In your mind's eye, see the judge's bench. It might be ornate and imposing, or simple and plain. And on that bench, see the wooden gavel. It has been held in a tight grip for so long, always ready to strike, to call the court to order, to deliver a judgment. Now, imagine a hand, your hand, gently reaching out and placing that gavel down. Hear the soft, muffled thud as the wood comes to rest on a velvet cloth. It is not being thrown down in anger. It is being set aside with intention, with care. This simple act is a powerful symbol. It is a declaration that the time for judgment is over for today. The court is officially in recess. Next to the gavel, you see the stacks of files, the prosecutor's evidence. The pages are filled with all the memories, all the regrets, all the painful scenes from the past. They feel heavy, dense with sorrow and shame. You do not need to read them. You do not need to argue against them. You are simply going to set them aside. Imagine gathering them all into one neat pile. Feel the weight of them in your hands for a final moment, acknowledging all that they represent. And then, with a slow and deliberate movement, place them into a wooden chest that sits beside the bench. It is a sturdy chest, a safe place. As you close the heavy lid, you hear a quiet, satisfying click as a simple latch falls into place. The files are not destroyed. They are not being ignored. They are simply being stored securely for the night. You are making a conscious choice that you will not be reading them tonight. Tonight is for something else. With the gavel laid down and the evidence filed away, a new kind of stillness begins to fill the courtroom. The air, which was once thick with tension and accusation, now feels light, clear, and calm. The harsh lighting has softened into a gentle, pre-dawn glow. There is no one else here. The prosecutor has gone home to rest. The judge has stepped down from the bench to rest, and the defendant is finally free to leave. You can feel this freedom in your body. It is a subtle but profound sense of release, a letting go, a quiet exhalation you didn't even know you were holding. Let's deepen this feeling of release with another image. Imagine you are standing on the bank of a slow, wide, gently flowing river. The water is dark and calm, reflecting the soft light of a rising moon. The air is cool and still. This river represents the stream of consciousness, the endless flow of thoughts and feelings that moves through your mind. For so long, you have been standing in the middle of this river, trying to stop certain thoughts, trying to grab onto others, fighting the current, creating so much turbulence. Tonight, you are invited to simply sit on the bank. From this place of quiet observation, you can watch the river flow by without having to get into it. You may see some of the arguments from the trial float past, like leaves on the water's surface. A memory, a what if, a flicker of shame. There they go. You don't need to fish them out. You don't need to analyze them. You don't even need to follow them with your eyes until they are out of sight. You just notice them and let them go. Let the river carry them away. Your only job is to remain on the bank, feeling the solid ground beneath you. Your anchor is your breath. Your anchor is the feeling of your body resting in your bed. The thoughts are just leaves. They are not you. You are the silent, peaceful witness on the shore. This is the first taste of what your mind feels like when the trial is paused. Notice the spaciousness. Notice the quiet. It might feel unfamiliar at first. The mind is so accustomed to the noise of the trial that true silence can feel strange, even a little empty. That's okay. Stay with it. Let yourself get used to the feeling of peace. This stillness is your natural state. The conflict is the learned habit. You are not creating something new. You are simply returning to the quiet that was always there, buried beneath the noise. In this quiet, you can hear a deeper truth. And that truth is this: you do not have to solve the past to deserve rest right now. Let that sink in. Let it land in your heart, in your bones. Your worthiness of rest is not conditional. It does not depend on you figuring everything out, or atoning for your mistakes, or promising to be perfect tomorrow. You are a living, breathing human being, and you need rest. It is that simple. It is that fundamental. To deserve rest, all you need to do is be tired. And you are tired. You have earned this rest 1,000 times over. So give yourself permission, fully and completely, to receive it. Let this moment of stillness be a sanctuary. There are no demands on you here, no expectations, no judgments. You don't have to be anyone. You don't have to do anything. You are free to just be, to just breathe, to just allow the gentle current of the river to lull you into a state of deep calm. The gavel is down, the files are away, the river is flowing, and you are here, safe on the shore, finally able to rest. As we rest here in this newfound stillness, with the court adjourned and the evidence put away, we can gently examine one of the core beliefs that kept the trial running for so long. It is a quiet, often unconscious assumption that lives deep within us. It is the belief that our pain proves our remorse. We believe, on some level, that our continued suffering is the only currency we have to pay for our past mistakes. We think that if we were to let go of the shame, if we were to stop punishing ourselves, it would mean we don't care. It would mean we are letting ourselves off the hook that we are condoning our own past actions. And so, we cling to the pain. We keep the trial in session because our suffering feels like the only honorable thing to do. It feels like a testament to our own goodness, a sign that we recognize the gravity of our errors. This belief is born from a beautiful and tender place, the desire to have a good heart. But the belief itself is a painful illusion. The truth is, your suffering does not heal anyone. Your sleepless nights do not undo the past. Your self-punishment does not alleviate the hurt you may have caused another, nor does it repair the parts of yourself you feel you have broken. It is like trying to pay a debt with a currency that the universe does not recognize. All it does is drain you. It depletes your energy, your joy, your capacity for presence. And a depleted, exhausted person is far less capable of showing up with kindness, wisdom, and compassion in the present moment. True accountability, true remorse, is not demonstrated by how much you suffer, but by how much you have learned. It is shown in how you live your life today. It is embodied in your present actions, your present words, your present awareness. Endless self-punishment keeps you trapped in the past, forever focused on the person you were then. Genuine healing invites you to bring the wisdom gleaned from that past into the person you are becoming now. So tonight, let's gently begin to release this sentence of suffering, not because you are denying the past, but because you are choosing a more effective, more compassionate way to honor it. We can use the breath as a physical tool for this release. Your body has been holding this sentence of suffering in its very tissues. It is in the tightness of your chest, the knot in your stomach, the tension in your shoulders. It is a physical pattern of holding on. With your intention, you can begin to let it go. As you take your next breath in, I invite you to acknowledge, just for a moment, the belief that you must suffer. See it clearly. I have believed my pain was necessary. Just notice it, without judgment. And then, as you breathe out, a long, slow, gentle exhalation, imagine you are releasing that belief from your body. Imagine the tension in your chest softening, the knot in your stomach loosening, the shoulders dropping another inch. It is like you are breathing out a plume of gray smoke, the smoke of an old, tired belief that no longer serves you or anyone else. Let's try that again. A slow breath in, acknowledging the old pattern of self-punishment, and a long, full breath out, releasing it, letting it go. With each breath, you are creating space. You are emptying out the space that was once occupied by the need to suffer. And into that new open space, we can introduce a new possibility, a new question. What if compassion and accountability could coexist? What if you could fully acknowledge your past mistakes, take responsibility for them, and hold a deep compassion for yourself all at the same time? This is not a contradiction. In fact, true accountability can only arise from a place of self-compassion. Why? Because when we are trapped in the cycle of shame and self-attack, our focus is entirely on ourselves. I am so bad. I am terrible. I am broken. It is a state of deep self-absorption. We are so consumed by our own inner trial that we have no energy left to consider the needs of others or to make amends in a meaningful way. But when we approach ourselves with compassion, we create a sense of inner safety. We can look at our past mistakes without the fear of annihilation. From this safe place, we can say, yes, I did that. That was a painful choice, born of my confusion, my fear, or my immaturity at the time. I regret the harm it caused. And because I can look at this honestly, without collapsing into shame, I can now ask, what have I learned? How can I do things differently now? How can I use this experience to become a kinder, wiser person? This is the beginning of genuine transformation. Compassion allows you to look. Shame makes you want to hide. Compassion allows for learning. Punishment only reinforces the belief that you are fundamentally flawed, which often leads to repeating the same patterns. Accountability says, I am responsible for my actions. Self-punishment says, I am defined by my actions. They are worlds apart. One leads to wisdom and growth. The other leads to stagnation and despair. As you lie here, resting in the quiet, let this new possibility settle over you like a warm, comforting blanket. The possibility that you can be both accountable and compassionate. That you can honor the past without being imprisoned by it. That you can release the sentence of suffering and in its place, pick up the practice of learning, growing, and forgiving. Your worth is not measured by the depth of your self-flagellation. Your goodness is not proven by your pain. Your goodness is here, right now, in your desire to heal. It is in your willingness to consider this new path. Let the breath continue to be your guide. Breathing in a sense of gentle acceptance, and breathing out the old, heavy sentence of suffering, you are slowly, gently setting yourself free. And in this freedom, you will find the strength to be the person you truly want to be. Now that we have begun to release the heavy sentence of suffering, we can use this new space of compassion to do something truly transformative. We can begin to meet the person you were then. We can turn our gaze toward that younger version of you, the one who stands as the defendant in the nightly trial, and see them not through the harsh lens of the prosecutor, but through a new lens of gentle, curious understanding. For a moment, I invite you to bring to mind the person you were at the time of the memory that troubles you most. Not the event itself, but the you who experienced it. How old were you? What was happening in your life at that time? What did you look like? What were the pressures you were under? What were you afraid of? We are not doing this to make excuses or to absolve responsibility. We are doing this to humanize. We are moving from a flat, two-dimensional caricature of a bad person to a complex, three-dimensional human being who was doing the best they could with the tools, the understanding, and the resources they had available to them at that time. Consider the tools you had then. What was your level of emotional intelligence? How much did you understand about your own patterns, your own triggers, your own needs? For most of us, especially when we were younger, our toolbox was quite limited. We may have had a hammer of anger, a screwdriver of withdrawal, or a wrench of anxiety. But we likely did not have the sophisticated instruments of self-awareness, clear communication, and emotional regulation that you may have now. You used the tools you had. They may have been clumsy. They may have been inappropriate for the job. They may have even caused damage. But they were the only tools in your box. The person you are today, with the wisdom and perspective you've gained through the very experience you regret, now has a much more developed set of tools. It is profoundly unfair to judge your past self by the standards and capabilities of your present self. You are judging a child for not knowing how to do calculus. Now, consider the understanding you had then. What were your beliefs about the world, about relationships, about yourself? What had life taught you up to that point? Perhaps you believed you had to be tough to survive, so you acted with a harshness that you now regret. Perhaps you believed you needed to please everyone to be loved, so you abandoned your own needs in a way that led to resentment and pain. Perhaps your understanding of love, success, or happiness was shaped by a dysfunctional environment or a culture of unrealistic expectations. You were operating from a map of the world that was incomplete and possibly quite distorted. You couldn't have known then what you know now simply because you hadn't lived it yet. The wisdom you hold today was forged in the fire of that past experience. That past self didn't have the benefit of that wisdom. They were the one who had to walk through the fire. And consider the resources you had then. What was your support system like? Did you have people you could turn to for wise counsel? Were you financially stable? Were you physically healthy and well-rested? Or were you running on empty, stressed, and overwhelmed? Our choices are never made in a vacuum. They are profoundly influenced by the context of our lives. When we are exhausted, lonely, or afraid, our capacity for wise and patient action is dramatically diminished. We are more likely to be reactive, to act from a place of survival rather than a place of conscious choice. The prosecutor in our mind likes to isolate the single moment of choice, placing it under a harsh spotlight, as if it happened independent of everything else. But life is not like that. Every moment is connected to the moment before it. Acknowledging the context of your past choices is not about shifting blame. It is about developing a more complete, compassionate, and realistic picture of the truth. Can you begin to feel a shift inside you as you consider this? A subtle softening around the edges of your judgment. You are beginning to see that past self not as a monster, but as a person who was struggling. A person who was, in all likelihood, in some kind of pain. Hurt people, as the saying goes. And we are often the first person we hurt. Our most regrettable actions often spring from our own unmet needs, our own fears, our own confusion. As you look at this past version of yourself, can you feel a flicker of empathy? Can you see the fear in their eyes, the confusion in their heart? Can you see that they too were just trying to find their way, trying to feel safe, trying to feel loved, using the limited map and the clumsy tools they had? This is the heart of compassionate self-forgiveness. It is not saying, "What I did was okay." It is saying, "I understand the human being who did it." There is a profound difference between excusing and explaining. Excusing says the action had no negative impact. Explaining says, "Here are the conditions under which this action occurred." We are not excusing. We are simply, finally, creating a compassionate explanation. And in that explanation, we find the seeds of freedom. We no longer have to see ourselves as fundamentally flawed or broken. We can see ourselves as human beings on a long, messy, and ultimately beautiful journey of learning. You were not a bad person. You were an unfinished person. And guess what? You still are. We all are. And that is the glory of being alive. The capacity to learn, to grow, to change, to become a little kinder, a little wiser with each passing year. The person you were then deserves your compassion, not your condemnation. They did the hard work of living through that experience so that you could become the person you are today. They deserve your thanks. They deserve your peace. And they deserve to be released from this endless nightly trial. Having met that past version of yourself with a new lens of compassion, we can now return to the courtroom. not to resume the trial, but to officially rewrite the verdict. For so long, the judgment has been singular, harsh, and absolute. The gavel has fallen, and the word echoing in the silent hall of your mind has been guilty. Guilty of not knowing better. Guilty of being imperfect. Guilty of causing pain. This verdict has defined so much, coloring your perception of yourself and casting a long shadow over your present. It has been a heavy cloak you've worn, a sentence of identity that you have been carrying out. But a verdict is just a story, a conclusion drawn from a particular interpretation of the evidence. We have already seen how the prosecutor's interpretation is narrow, biased, and lacking in compassion. So tonight, we are going to offer a new verdict. We are going to replace that single, crushing word with a new one. The new verdict is not innocent, because that would be a denial of reality. The new verdict is simply, profoundly human. Let that word settle into the space around you. Human. What does it mean? It means you are a being designed to learn through experience. It means you are wired for connection, and you will sometimes stumble in your attempts to create it. It means you have a complex inner world of needs, fears, and desires that are often in conflict with one another. It means you are not all-knowing. You cannot see the future. You do your best with the information you have in any given moment. To be human is to be inherently imperfect and to be on a lifelong journey of becoming. The verdict of guilty is a dead end. It closes the case and leaves no room for growth. The verdict of human is an open door. It acknowledges the past and simultaneously creates space for a different future. It is a verdict of grace. It shifts the entire focus from punishment to understanding. Feel the difference in your body. The word guilty creates tension, contraction, a bracing for pain. The word human allows for a softening, an expansion, a gentle breath of relief. Let yourself breathe into this new verdict. Inhale the acceptance of your own humanity. Exhale the old, rigid identity of the one who did wrong. We can think of it this way, using the analogy of the changing seasons. Your life is a vast and varied landscape. The past you regret is one season of that landscape. Perhaps it was a long, harsh winter. The ground was hard, the light was dim, and it felt like nothing would ever grow again. The trial in your mind is like being forced to live in that winter forever. Every night, you are transported back to the frozen ground, the bitter wind, the barren trees. You have come to believe that this single season is the entire truth of who you are. But it is not. There was a spring before that winter, and there has been a summer and an autumn since. You have changed. The landscape of your inner world has changed. New things have grown. The verdict of human allows you to see the whole landscape. It honors the reality of the winter. It doesn't pretend it didn't happen, but it refuses to let it define the entire story of your life. It acknowledges that seasons change, people change, you have changed. And here is the undeniable proof of that change. The wisdom you hold right now. The very fact that you regret your past actions is evidence of your growth. If you had not grown, if you had not learned, you would see no problem with what happened. Your discomfort, your shame, your regret, these painful feelings are the growing pains of an expanding soul. They are the tangible proof that you have evolved. You have learned so much since then. You have learned about consequences, about empathy, about your own patterns, about what truly matters to you. The wisdom you hold now, the person you are today, was purchased at the price of that past pain. In a way, The person you were then gave you a profound gift. They lived through the difficulty so that you could arrive here in this moment with a deeper understanding and a more compassionate heart. The verdict of human honors this journey. It acknowledges that the mistakes of the past were not the end of the story, but the necessary ingredients for the wisdom you now possess. Let this affirmation sink deep into your being. The wisdom I hold now is proof of my journey. Feel the quiet strength in that statement. It reframes your past from a source of shame into a source of strength. It transforms your mistakes from evidence of your badness into credentials of your growth. You are not defined by the lowest moment of your past. You are defined by your capacity to learn from it, to grow beyond it, and to transform its pain into wisdom. This is the truest expression of your beautiful, resilient human spirit. As you rest here, let the old verdict of guilty dissolve completely. Imagine the letters fading from the courtroom walls, turning to dust and being carried away on a gentle breeze. And in their place, see the new verdict glowing with a soft, warm light. Human. This is the new foundation of your inner world. It is a foundation of compassion, acceptance, and grace. From this foundation, you don't need to strive for an impossible perfection. You can simply relax into the ongoing, imperfect, and sacred process of being you. There is no one to condemn. There is only a human being to understand. There is no sentence to be served. There is only a life to be lived, with all the wisdom you have gathered along the way. Let your body rest in the truth of this new verdict. Let your heart find peace in it. You are not a problem to be solved. You are a person to be held. And tonight, you can hold yourself in the gentle, forgiving embrace of your own shared humanity. With this new, compassionate verdict of human echoing in the quiet spaces of your mind, the question of accountability naturally arises. If we adjourn the court, if we release the sentence of suffering, does that mean we are abandoning responsibility? This is a crucial point, and it is where the old fear-based part of us can get nervous. It believes that the harsh, loud voice of the inner critic is the only thing that keeps us accountable. It mistakes the noise of self-punishment for the substance of responsibility. But tonight, we are going to redefine accountability, moving it from a place of fear to a place of wisdom. True accountability is not a loud, punishing voice that screams at you in the dark. That is shame. That is the noise of the trial. True accountability is a quiet internal knowing. It is a calm, clear, steady voice that resides in your heart, not your head. It does not need to shout because it is rooted in the truth of your own experience. This quiet knowing is the wisdom that has been forged from your past. It is the part of you that now understands cause and effect on a much deeper level. It is the part of you that can feel in your bones the impact that your past actions had on yourself and on others. This accountability is not a burden. It is a guidance system. It is like an internal compass, its needle now calibrated by the painful lessons of the past. It doesn't constantly point backwards, berating you for the wrong turns you took. Instead, it points forward, gently but clearly, indicating the direction of integrity, of kindness, of alignment with your deepest values. The voice of the inner critic says, "You are a bad person for what you did." The quiet knowing of accountability says, "That action led to pain. I have learned from that. Now, I will choose a path that leads toward healing and connection." Can you feel the profound difference? One is a judgment about your identity. The other is a wisdom about your actions. One is static, keeping you stuck in the past. The other is dynamic, guiding you into a better future. As you rest here, see if you can tune in to this quiet knowing. It is often a feeling more than a voice. It is a sense of solidity in your chest, a feeling of clarity behind your eyes. It is the integrated wisdom of your entire life's journey. It trusts you. It knows you have learned. It doesn't need to yell at you or punish you because it understands that you, more than anyone, carry the memory of that past pain and have no desire to repeat it. We can honor the lessons learned. Instead of focusing on the mistake itself, let's turn our attention to the wisdom it yielded. What did that painful experience teach you? Perhaps it taught you the importance of honesty or the need for stronger boundaries. Perhaps it taught you to be more mindful with your words or more compassionate with the struggles of others. Maybe it taught you that you are stronger than you thought, or that you need to ask for help more often. There are precious gifts of wisdom hidden inside our deepest wounds. When we are trapped in the trial, we cannot see them. We are too busy arguing the case. But now, in this quiet space of compassionate acceptance, you can begin to unwrap these gifts. Acknowledge the wisdom you now carry. Name it silently to yourself. Because of that experience, I now know. Feel the truth and power of that. This is how you honor the past, not by punishing yourself for it, but by living the wisdom it gave you. This is true atonement. It is turning the lead of a painful past into the gold of a wiser present. And in this, we must also recognize your profound resilience. Think, for a moment, of the immense strength it took to carry the weight of this trial for so long. The strength it took to wake up each morning after a night of inner turmoil and still face the day. The strength it took to keep trying, to keep loving, to keep hoping for peace, even while a war was raging inside you. This is not weakness. This is the very definition of strength. You have been carrying a heavy stone in your backpack for miles and miles, and you have not collapsed. You have simply grown stronger under the load. Now, you are learning that you can set the stone down, and all that strength you developed from carrying it, it is still yours. It can now be used not for endurance of pain, but for the creation of joy, for building connection, for living a life of purpose and peace. Do not underestimate the warrior spirit within you that has survived this internal conflict. Honor it, thank it, and let it know that its battle is over. It can now become a guardian of your peace. Here is a foundational truth to hold in your heart. Your capacity to feel regret is a sign of your goodness, not your badness. It is the mark of a tender conscience, a heart that feels, a soul that cares. Animals do not feel regret. Sociopaths do not feel regret. You feel it because you are a deeply feeling, deeply caring human being. You are feeling the dissonance between your past actions and your present values. That dissonance is not a sign of your failure. It is the engine of your growth. It is the sacred ache that calls you forward, inviting you to align your life more and more closely with the beautiful wisdom of your own heart. So let go of the old idea of accountability as a harsh punishment and embrace this new understanding. Accountability is the quiet, wise, and loving integration of all that you have learned. It is the compass that guides you. It is the strength that supports you. And it is the compassionate heart that reassures you that you are and always have been on a journey home to yourself. You do not need the critic anymore. You have your wisdom now. You do not need the punishment. You have your compassion now. You can trust yourself. You have learned the lessons. You are free to move forward, not with the heavy chains of the past, but with the quiet, steady strength of your own, hard-won accountability. Now, resting in this quiet knowing of a gentler accountability, we can finally turn toward the practice that lies at the very heart of this journey. We can turn toward the softness of self-compassion. For so long, the inner landscape has been a place of hardness, of sharp edges, of cold stone walls, and rigid laws. We have now begun to dismantle that structure, and in its place, we can begin to cultivate a garden. Self-compassion is the rich soil and the gentle rain that will allow for new growth, for healing to take root in a way it never could on the barren ground of the courtroom. Compassion is not an idea. It is a felt experience. It is an action. So let's begin with a simple, tangible act of kindness. I invite you to bring to mind once more that part of yourself that has been on trial. The weary defendant, the frightened child, the younger you who was doing the best they could. See this part of you clearly, but this time, see them not in the harsh glare of the courtroom, but sitting quietly in a warm, safe room. Now, in your imagination, extend a hand to them. It could be your physical hand, perhaps resting gently on your own heart or your arm, or it could be a purely visualized act. Feel the warmth in the palm of your hand. This is the warmth of your own innate goodness, your own capacity for care. As you offer this comforting hand, perhaps on their shoulder or holding their own hand, let a simple, kind message be communicated through that touch. A message that says, I am here with you now. The trial is over. You are safe. You might even offer a kind word, spoken silently in the sanctuary of your own mind. Words like, I am so sorry you had to go through that. I'm sorry you've been judged so harshly for so long. It's over now. You can rest. Feel the resonance of these words. They are a soothing balm on a very old wound. This is not about condoning the past. It is about comforting the person who has been suffering because of it. And that person is you. You are bringing yourself home. You are mending the painful split within your own heart, reuniting the judge and the defendant into one whole, compassionate being. Now, let's explore what this forgiveness might actually feel like in your body. We often think of forgiveness as a mental concept, a decision we make. But true forgiveness is a somatic experience, a physical shift. It is the body finally standing down from a state of high alert. Imagine for a moment what self-forgiveness would feel like if it had a physical sensation. Perhaps it would feel like a tight clenched fist in your chest slowly, finger by finger, opening up, revealing a tender, vulnerable space inside that can finally breathe. Or maybe it would feel like a suit of armor you have been wearing for years, so heavy and restrictive, suddenly dissolving into dust, leaving you feeling light, free, and able to move with a new ease. For some, it might feel like the warmth of the sun on your face after a long, cold winter, a deep, penetrating warmth that thaws the frozen parts of you, bringing life and color back to your inner world. There is no right or wrong answer. Just allow your own body to show you what release feels like. Let that imagined sensation, whether it is an opening, a lightness, or a warmth, begin to spread through you. Let it travel from your heart, down into your belly, releasing the anxious knot that has lived there for so long. Let it move up into your throat, easing the tightness of unspoken grief. Let it flow into your shoulders, finally allowing them to drop into a state of profound rest. This is your body's experience of letting go. It is the physical manifestation of grace. It is the feeling of coming home to yourself, of being welcomed back into the safety and acceptance of your own skin. It is the quiet, powerful peace that comes when the war with yourself is finally over. And in this peaceful, forgiving state, let a foundational truth land in the very center of your being. Let it be the new cornerstone upon which you build your relationship with yourself. The truth is this: your worth is not determined by your mistakes. You were worthy of peace then, in the very moment you made your most regrettable choice, and you are worthy of peace now. Your worth is not something you earn through good behavior or lose through bad behavior. It is inherent. It is unconditional. It is the simple, sacred fact of your existence. The universe did not demand that you be perfect. It only asked that you be you, in all your messy, beautiful, learning, growing humanity. For so long, the prosecutor has argued that your mistakes are evidence of your unworthiness. Tonight, we see the lie in that argument. Your mistakes are simply evidence of your journey. They are the road signs, the detours, the scraped knees that are an inevitable part of learning to walk through this life. They have absolutely no bearing on your fundamental value as a soul. You are worthy of love, of kindness, of rest, simply because you are. Let this truth be the lullaby that soothes you tonight. Repeat it silently to yourself, not as an affirmation you are trying to force, but as a gentle reminder of something your heart has always known. I am worthy of peace. Feel it in your breath. Feel it in the softening of your muscles. Feel it in the quiet stillness that is beginning to envelop you. This is the softness of self-compassion. It is not weak. It is not permissive. It is the strongest, most healing force in the universe. And you have the power to offer it to yourself, right here, right now. You are holding yourself in the loving embrace you have always deserved. You are finally safe. Resting now, in the warm and gentle embrace of self-compassion, we can begin the final stage of our work for tonight. We can allow the very architecture of our inner world to transform. The courtroom, which has been the central setting of your inner life for so long, has served its purpose. We have understood its function. We have honored the intentions of the characters within it, and we have rewritten its final verdict. Now, it is time to let it go. It is time to dissolve its walls and allow a new, more life-giving landscape to emerge in its place. Let's do this with our imagination, which is the powerful and creative force that shapes our inner reality. Bring the image of the courtroom back into your mind one last time. See the hard wooden benches, the elevated judges' stand, the cold stone floor, the dim, unforgiving light. This has been a place of judgment, of fear, of separation. For a moment, just acknowledge it for what it was. A structure built by a younger part of you, trying its best to create order and safety in a confusing world. Thank it for its service. And now, with a gentle intention, give it permission to dissolve. Imagine the stone walls are beginning to lose their solidity. They are becoming transparent, like smoke or mist. The sharp corners of the judge's bench are softening, its hard lines blurring and fading. The wooden gavel you laid down earlier is not just resting. It is slowly turning into dust, its form returning to the earth. The very air in the room begins to change. It is no longer heavy and stale with old arguments. but is becoming fresh, clean, and filled with the scent of damp earth and growing things. Watch as the entire structure dematerializes. The ceiling disappears, revealing not a roof, but an endless soft twilight sky, dusted with the first few stars. The walls fade completely, and you find yourself standing not in a cold enclosed room, but in a vast, open, and peaceful natural landscape. The transformation is effortless. You are not tearing the courtroom down. You are simply allowing it to be reclaimed by a more ancient and wiser reality. Now, let's explore this new inner landscape that has been waiting for you just beneath the surface of the old one. What does it look like? For you, it might be a quiet forest floor at dusk. You are standing on a carpet of soft moss, surrounded by the silent, ancient presence of tall trees. The last rays of sunlight filter through the canopy, creating shifting patterns of light and shadow on the ground. The air is cool and smells of pine and rich soil. You can hear the gentle rustle of leaves in a soft breeze, maybe the distant call of a bird settling in for the night. There is a feeling of immense peace here, of belonging. The trees do not judge you. The moss does not condemn you. They simply are, and they welcome you into their being. Feel the solid, supportive earth beneath your feet. This is the new foundation of your inner world, grounded, natural, and alive. Or perhaps your new landscape is a calm shoreline at low tide. You are standing on cool, damp sand, the vast expanse of the ocean stretching out before you to the horizon. The water is still, like glass, reflecting the soft pastel colors of the fading sunset. The only sound is the gentle, rhythmic lapping of tiny waves against the shore, a sound that is like the very breath of the planet. The air tastes of salt and clean space. You can see the smooth, rounded stones at the water's edge, each one shaped and softened by millennia of being tumbled by the waves. This is a place of immense perspective. The vastness of the ocean and the sky makes your past troubles feel small, not insignificant, but held within a much larger context. The rhythmic sound of the waves is a reminder of the endless cycles of life, of release and return, of letting go. Whatever your personal landscape of peace is, a mountain meadow, a quiet desert under the moon, a secluded garden, allow yourself to be fully there now. Use all your senses. What do you see? What do you hear? What can you feel on your skin? What can you smell in the air? This is not just an escape. This is an integration. You are consciously choosing to replace the inner environment of conflict with an inner environment of peace. This new landscape represents your true nature. Your soul is not a courtroom. It is a wild, beautiful, and sacred part of the natural world. For too long, you have been living in an artificial structure built by fear. Tonight, you are returning home to the truth of your own being. Feel the profound shift in your body as you inhabit this new space. Notice how your breath deepens, mirroring the calm rhythm of this place. Notice how the tension in your muscles releases, allowing you to settle into the landscape as if you were a part of it. The argument is over. The striving has ceased. The need to prove yourself is gone. Here, in this place, you are simply allowed to be. This is your new inner sanctuary. It is a place you can return to anytime you feel the old habit of the trial trying to re-emerge. You can simply close your eyes, take a breath, and remember the feeling of the soft moss, the sound of the gentle waves. You are literally rewiring your brain, creating a new neural pathway to peace that, with practice, will become stronger and more accessible than the old, well-worn path to the courtroom. You are not just visiting this place, you are becoming it. Your inner state is shifting from one of argument to one of acceptance, from one of judgment to one of quiet, expansive being. Let yourself rest deeply here now, held and healed by the quiet beauty of your own true nature. Here you are, resting in the heart of your new inner landscape. The cold stone of the courtroom has dissolved, replaced by the living earth beneath you. The harsh lights have faded into a soft, gentle twilight. And in their place, a profound quiet has settled. I want you to listen to this quiet, not with your ears, but with your whole being. Can you feel what is missing? The endless chatter of the prosecutor, the heavy pronouncements of the judge, the desperate, whispered defenses of the accused. The entire clamor of the internal argument is gone, and what remains is you. This is the quiet after the noise. This is the peace that was here all along, waiting patiently beneath the surface of the struggle. For a long time, the noise of the trial might have felt like who you were. You may have identified with the critic or the shamed one, believing that this internal conflict was the very core of your personality. But it was never you. It was just a storm passing through. You are the sky, not the storm. You are the vast, open, silent awareness in which the storm of thought and emotion took place. And now the storm has passed, and you can finally feel the boundless peace of your own true nature. Rest in this new inner silence. Notice how it feels in your body. It is not an empty, lonely silence. It is a full silence, pregnant with possibility and peace. It is the silence of a deep forest, alive with unseen life. It is the silence of a calm ocean, holding unfathomable depths. This is the state of being from which all healing, all creativity, and all true wisdom arises. Let your body soak it in, like a thirsty plant soaking in rain. This stillness is deeply nourishing to your nervous system, which has been on high alert for so long. It is a signal to every cell in your body that you are finally, truly safe. There is no one to fight, no one to defend yourself against. The battle is over. You can lay down your arms. You can be at peace. In this quiet, we can hold the whole story of your life with a new kind of grace. We are not pretending the past didn't happen. We are not erasing the chapter of the courtroom. The past is a part of your story, but it is not the entire story. Imagine your life as a great, epic novel. The painful events of your past, the ones that fueled the trial, might make up one chapter. It may be a very dramatic, very difficult chapter. But there are so many other chapters. There is the chapter of your childhood innocence, the chapter of your first love, the chapter of your greatest accomplishment, the chapter of your deepest connection with another person, the chapter of a quiet, ordinary day filled with simple beauty. The trial in your mind was forcing you to read that one difficult chapter over and over and over again every single night. You came to believe it was the only chapter in the book, but it's not. Tonight, you are gently closing that chapter. You are acknowledging its place in the larger narrative, and you are allowing yourself to turn the page. You are remembering that you are the author of this story, and you get to write the next chapter, and the next. From this place of peace and wisdom, you can write a future that is not a reaction to the past, but an expression of your deepest, most authentic self. And here is the most empowering truth of all. This is a choice you can make again. The old habit of the courtroom may not disappear overnight. There may be moments, tomorrow, or next week, when you hear the distant sound of a gavel, when you feel the old prosecutor trying to reopen the case, this is normal. Habits of the mind have deep grooves, but you are different now. You know the way out. You know that you do not have to enter that room. You have a new landscape to inhabit. You now have the understanding that you can choose to adjourn the court again. You can say, I recognize this old pattern. Thank you for trying to protect me, but I'm not going to participate tonight. And then you can consciously, intentionally bring your awareness back here, back to the feeling of the forest floor, the sound of the ocean waves, the quiet peace of your own true nature. You can return to your breath. You can return to the compassionate verdict, human. This is not about a one-time fix. It is about cultivating a new relationship with yourself, a relationship based on compassion, trust, and understanding, rather than fear, judgment, and criticism. Every time you choose to step out of the courtroom and into your sanctuary, you are strengthening that new relationship. You are deepening the grooves of the neural pathway to peace. You are practicing the art of self-kindness. You are remembering who you truly are. What remains, when all the noise of self-judgment falls away, is the simple, sacred presence of your own being. It is calm. It is whole. It is wise. It has been here all along, waiting for you to come home. Tonight, you have come home. There is nothing more to do, nothing to figure out. Your only task now is to rest here, to let this profound peace hold you, heal you, and carry you into the deep, restorative sleep you so richly deserve. The story of your past is held. The noise of the trial is quieted. What remains is simply you, breathing, here, now, in this perfect, peaceful moment. You are enough. You are whole. You are free. Now, resting in the quiet presence of your being, held by the peace of your inner sanctuary, we can send a final, clear message directly to the body. For all the work we have done in the mind and the heart, it is the body that must ultimately receive the permission to let go and fall asleep. Your nervous system, for so long, has been operating under the command of the trial. It has been in a state of chronic, low-grade fight or flight, bracing for a threat that was only ever internal. Tonight, you, as the compassionate witness, as the wise consciousness that you are, can give your body a new command. It is an instruction of profound release. You can speak to it silently from a place of deep kindness. Dear body, the fight is over. The danger is past. The trial has been adjourned, not just for tonight, but for good. You can stand down now. It is safe to rest. Let this message seep into your physical form, not as a thought, but as a felt reality. Imagine it as a wave of liquid calm, starting at the top of your head and slowly, gently, flowing all the way down to the tips of your toes, carrying this message of safety to every single cell. Let's deepen this physical relaxation with a slow, gentle scan of the body, consciously releasing any pockets of tension that may still be lingering. Bring your awareness to your forehead and the small muscles around your eyes. This is an area where we hold so much tension from trying to figure things out, from worrying and analyzing. Let it go. Imagine the skin on your forehead becoming smooth, wide, and calm. Feel the muscles around your eyes softening, as if you are gazing into a soft, distant horizon. Let your eyelids rest gently, without pressure. Now, let that wave of relaxation flow down into your cheeks, your mouth, and your jaw. We have already invited the jaw to release, and now we can let it go even more deeply. Let your tongue rest softly in your lower palate. Let your lips part ever so slightly. The need to speak, to argue, to defend is completely gone. There is only a profound and peaceful silence. Allow this feeling of release to cascade down into your neck and your throat, melting any remaining tension there. And then let it pour into your shoulders, feeling them become even heavier, warmer, and more deeply settled into the mattress. This wave of calm flows down your arms, through your elbows, into your wrists and your hands. Feel your hands become heavy and limp. Let your fingers curl naturally. These are the hands that have been carrying such a heavy load, that have been clenched in fists of frustration or wrung in anxiety. Now, they can simply be at rest. They can be open and receiving. Bring your awareness to your chest and your upper back. This is the area that holds both your heart and your lungs. As you release the tension here, you may feel your breathing become even deeper, even slower, even more effortless. You are creating space for your heart to beat in a calm, steady rhythm, the rhythm of deep peace. Let go of the ache of old sorrows. Your heart is safe now. Now, let the wave of relaxation continue its journey down into your solar plexus and your belly. This is where we often feel the knot of fear, the churn of anxiety. Imagine that knot gently untying itself, its strands dissolving into a pool of warm, liquid peace. Let your belly be soft and receptive. With each breath, it can rise and fall with complete freedom, a gentle, natural tide. There is nothing to brace against. You can be vulnerable. You can be soft. Let this profound sense of ease flow down into your lower back, releasing any tightness held there from years of being on guard. Feel your entire torso, front and back, surrendering completely to the pull of gravity held securely by the surface beneath you. The wave continues down into your hips, your pelvis, and your thighs. These large, strong muscles have held you up. They have carried you through so many difficult days. Now, you can thank them for their work and give them permission to completely let go. Feel their weight, their density, their complete lack of effort. This calming release flows down through your knees, into your calves and your shins, and all the way down into your ankles and your feet. Your feet, which have walked so many miles on this life's journey, can finally be still. Feel the energy draining out from the soles of your feet, as if you have unplugged from all the doing, all the striving of the day. Your entire body, from the very top of your head to the tips of your toes, is now saturated with a deep and profound state of relaxation. It is heavy. It is warm. It is still. It has received the message. It knows it is safe. And now, the breath can become your final, gentle anchor to this state of peace. Without needing to control it at all, simply rest your attention on the feeling of the breath as it moves in and out of your body. It is the most natural rhythm in the world. It is the rhythm of life itself. Feel the cool air as it enters your nostrils and the warm air as it leaves. Notice the subtle pause at the top of the inhalation and the slightly longer pause at the bottom of the exhalation in that quiet space of perfect stillness. This breath is your lullaby. It is the gentle rocking that is signaling to your brain that it is time for sleep. Each breath is carrying you deeper and deeper into relaxation, closer and closer to the edge of slumber. There is no need to think anymore. There is no need to remember. Your only job is to feel the gentle, rhythmic motion of your own breathing. Let it be the wave that carries your consciousness out from the shore of wakefulness and into the vast, calm, healing ocean of sleep. The work is done. The courtroom has dissolved into a twilight forest. The verdict has been rewritten from guilty to human. The body has received the message of safety and has begun its slow, beautiful surrender to rest. And now, all that is left is to let go, to release your conscious, thinking mind and give it permission to drift, to float, to dissolve into the quiet mystery of sleep. There is a moment, just on the cusp of slumber, where we stand on a threshold between worlds, the world of thought, of story, of identity, and the world of dreams, of silence, of pure being. We can't force our way across this threshold. We can only allow ourselves to be carried across. So now, you can release the narrative. You can let go of this story, of my voice, of all the ideas we have explored. They have served their purpose. They have brought you here to this peaceful shore. Now you can allow the boat to drift away. There is nothing more to do. There is nothing more to understand. Just allow. Just rest. Sleep is coming now. It is not something you have to chase or capture. It is a natural grace that is rising up to meet you. It is coming like a soft fog, rolling in from a calm sea, gently obscuring the sharp edges of the day. It is coming like a soft, heavy blanket, being laid over you with infinite tenderness, its weight a comforting reassurance. It is coming like a deep and quiet river, and you are floating on its surface, carried effortlessly toward an ocean of peace. You don't have to swim. You don't have to steer. You just have to let the current take you. What does it truly mean to forgive? Perhaps it is not a grand, singular act, but 1,000 small moments of letting go. 1,000 choices to meet our own imperfection with kindness rather than condemnation. Maybe forgiveness is simply the breath that releases the tension in our shoulders. Maybe it is the quiet refusal to enter the courtroom for the 1,000th time. And what is healing really? Perhaps it is not the erasure of a wound, but the integration of its scar into the whole of who we are. The scar becomes a testament, not to the injury, but to the fact that we have survived it, that we have grown around it, that our skin has knitted itself back together in a new and stronger way. Your past does not need to be erased for you to be whole. It only needs to be held with compassion. It is a part of the beautiful, intricate tapestry of you. Tonight, you have learned to hold that tapestry with gentle hands, to see the beauty in all of it, even the threads of sorrow and regret. They add depth and color and truth to the whole. You have learned that your own heart can be a sanctuary, not a courtroom. What a profound and life-altering realization that is. You carry your home within you. You carry your peace within you. You have always had the key. Tonight, you simply remembered how to use it. Let your mind drift now into whatever images or feelings arise. Let them come and go like clouds in the vast sky of your awareness. There is no need to hold on to anything, just a gentle, open, allowing state of being. You are safe. You are held. You are whole. The entire universe is conspiring in this moment to bring you rest. The quiet of the night, the darkness of the room, the pull of gravity, the rhythm of your own heart. All of it is a lullaby, singing you into the deep. Sleep is a form of healing. It is the time when the body repairs itself, when the mind sorts and files the day, when the soul reconnects with its source. In every moment of sleep, you are being restored. You are being made new. Trust this ancient, intelligent process. Surrender to it. It knows exactly what you need. You are whole. You are enough. Sleep comes naturally now. There's no resistance, no effort, just a gentle, sweet surrender into the soft, welcoming darkness. Drifting now, floating, letting go. Rest is a form of forgiveness. And tonight, you are sleeping in a state of profound peace. You are forgiven. You are free. Sleep now. Deep, peaceful, healing sleep.